Have you ever heard of anything like this happening? A gorilla dug a trap in the ground and waited patiently. And when the perfect moment came, he sprung his trap and captured his prey. The poor guy was shocked by what happened, but it still wasn't the best part. Because when everyone at the zoo saw the video footage, they were shocked. But not because of what they saw, but who they saw. When we think of gorillas, we usually imagine them swinging around high up in the trees, not digging holes and catching their dinner. We don't want to waste your time with a long story, so let's just get straight to the point. Gorillas are actually pretty smart, but that doesn't mean they're all that creative. If a hungry gorilla wants to eat, he'll go find some food. They have a pretty simple way of thinking. They also can't really deal with abstract ideas like love or justice. So why did the gorilla dig a hole and wait there patiently for hours? What kind of trap did he make, and who was the lucky one who fell into it? It all started when a zoo employee forgot to close the gate properly. That made the gorilla's enclosure a little less safe than usual. It's obvious that such a big and strong animal shouldn't be kept in a zoo, but unfortunately, there aren't many other places where it could live. That's why the zoos work hard to make sure the animals are taken care of and don't feel too stressed out. But sometimes, even the best zookeepers make mistakes. When the zoo employee realized the next morning that the lock had been left open, he hurried over to the gorilla enclosure. But when he got there, he saw something that made him stop dead in his tracks. A wide and deep hole had been dug in the ground, and right next to it was a water pipe from which fresh water flowed non-stop. The zoo employee didn't know it yet, but gorillas are actually really good at digging. This is probably because they do it often in the wild. If they need to look for something to eat, they use their hands and feet to dig through the layers of soil. If they come across roots while digging, they carefully take them out with their bare hands. But why would the gorilla dig a hole next to the enclosure wall? And what about the water pipe? Well, the thing is, there's a big difference between a gorilla in the wild and one in a zoo. The zoo gorilla has enough food so he doesn't have to dig for it anymore. But that doesn't mean he stopped using his hands. Gorillas in zoos are known to pick up cigarette butts and other trash, then throw them around. Sometimes they even play with the zoo employees and try to take their hats off. So when the gorilla dug a hole next to the wall, he definitely had some mischief in mind. But what was that hole really for? And where did the water pipe come from? Let's get back to the zoo employee. He quickly grabbed his phone and called for backup. There were other people at the zoo at that moment, and none of them knew what had happened. You can only imagine how surprised they were when they saw a huge hole and a funny-looking trap. Some people suggested filling the hole and letting the gorilla be for now, but others argued that the gorilla needed to be caught. After all, who knew what it was capable of? The decision was made to put the gorilla to sleep with a tranquilizer dart. When the team arrived, they were indeed shocked by what they saw. They've never seen anything like it before. The gorilla was lying next to the hole, as if he was waiting for them. The angry gorilla didn't make a single sound. It was clear that it wouldn't be easy to get the calm gorilla back into its cage. The whole operation took quite a while and required several people. Eventually, the gorilla was taken back to its enclosure. But this was just the beginning of the adventure. The whole incident was recorded on camera, and soon the video spread on the internet. People couldn't believe their eyes. Had they really seen a gorilla digging a hole and waiting for someone to fall into it? It looked more like something you'd see in a cartoon than in real life. But since the video was doing the rounds, the zoo decided to take advantage of the situation. They posted the video on their social media accounts and asked for suggestions on what to do with the clever gorilla. Many people wanted to see the gorilla get a reward for its intelligence. At the same time, they wanted to make sure the gorilla didn't get into trouble. As for the gorilla itself, it seemed to be quite happy with how things turned out. When the zoo employees came to check on it the next morning, they found out that the gorilla had dug another hole and filled the first one up. But instead of finding food, the gorilla had managed to get its hands on some delicious bananas. So do you think the gorilla should get a prize for its efforts? Why do you think the gorilla dug a hole? Do you have any other ideas why the gorilla dug a hole and hid? We would love to hear your thoughts. Gorillas usually don't dig holes just for fun. They do it when they're bored or want to get something. Gorillas can also dig holes to hide their food from other animals or humans. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching.